What is happening, everybody? It is wave 3 time. I know Faker really isn't quite involved in wave 3, but it came out earlier than this wave, and I wanted to stick it in here because why? It's just another figure to go over. All right, here we are, and we will start right now. Okay, so here we are with wave 3. I am incorporating Faker, and we will go over him first. We're going to try to do this fairly quickly just because these videos are getting a little bit too long, in my opinion. So here we go. Let's do it. All right, so I've already done a video on Faker. I'll put a link in the description below. This is my Faker. This is how I like him. There is some different head sculpts, armor and all that you can choose, but I always liked the Skeletor looking armor here, and I like this shield, like it's the He-Man, and the power sword. It's nice because it has that kind of homage. We have the orange there. It does have a nice Terminator head and a regular He-Man head with red eyes, which looks amazing. A couple of hands, a fisted hand and an open hand. But yes, a great looking figure. This is one I definitely recommend because he does go on sale quite often at Target online. I think it's worth it. He's a good looking Faker. I like this. Super 7 actually did one that's kind of similar where they did the more robot face. I like this one. This is, if you're not going to have a blue Faker, which I'm sure they will have in Masterverse, but this is actually a really good one, and I was actually really impressed once I bought this. I wasn't quite sure when I first saw him, but I definitely like him, and he's a great addition to the collection, and I really do think that he is worth the price of admission. Okay, so next off, we are going to go over Andra. She was actually in the original Filmation. I do actually remember watching the original Filmation cartoon and seeing her. I'm going to try to find a clip of her just because it's been a long time, but I do remember her from the Filmation. So, okay, so with Filmation, so Andra, we see her in Revelations with Teela. They are actually going through a scrapyard in which they actually run into Stinkor, which is in this wave as well. However, we'll go over him later. Hands galore, 4 different hands. She does have the mask that she had in Revelations. The cape actually looks really good. We are going to take a closer look at her, but first we will go over the brains to Teela's brawn. Andra dreams of being a hero while her crestfallen partner tries to leave that life behind. The stray-eyed scavenger always has a technological trick up her sleeve, whether using her genius to create inventions or relying on her scrappiness and speed to evade evil. Andra reminds all Eternians that heroes are and what they can be again. So yes, an amazing looking figure. We'll take a deeper look into Andra. So yes, Andra, beautiful looking figure. I'm going to keep her helmet off. I like how her weapon, you can see the flame there. I love the hood. The cape is very nice. Nice cloth addition here. I think she's a fantastic looking figure. The head sculpt is great. I mean, everything about this. I honestly think they just keep getting better with each wave. They keep up in the game, and Mattel is doing an absolute fantastic job. They're knocking it out of the park. So we're going to take a closer look at Andra as we are right here, and definitely worth one. She is definitely worth the price of admission. I have to say, it's a must-have in my opinion. All right, and the next one is Fisto. This has always been a favorite. This figure is probably one of the best that they've come out with in Revelations in terms of just the character design and how he looks. So Fisto, evil warriors better be hungry because Fisto has a knuckle sandwich for them, and it's got plenty of iron in it. The man with the mighty metal fist packs enough power in his punch to rival even Eternia's strongest warriors. As one of the planet's greatest heroes, it's only fitting that he protects the royal palace from dark forces, both technological and mystical. Yes. So we will take a closer look at Fisto. And okay, and so here is Fisto. I had to change out his left hand just so he can hold the sword. And this is nice looking. Look at that. He even has articulation here. As always, 30 points of articulation. This thus far through wave 1 and 3, one of my favorite figures in the line. Like I said, the wave 3, they're just knocking it out of the park. Great looking figure. We take a closer look. We have the sword, the fist. I mean, everything about this paint looks great. I mean, the face sculpt, I mean, the head sculpt is amazing. One of the best head sculpts that they had thus far, in terms, at least from up until wave 3. This is Fisto, and there we are. Okay, so next we have Scareglow. Now I went over Scareglow because I had the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive, which is an absolutely amazing figure. Just a great one. But if you missed out on that, this is just equally as good, although I do prefer the San Diego Comic-Con. Getting this figure, there's no reason to go after that one, because this one is good enough, and it looks amazing. And Scareglow, fear this glow, the skeletal specter rules the underworld of Subternia, trapping lost souls inside of their deepest, darkest nightmares. But it has been too long since Scareglow has tasted true fear. If the daring adventurers wish to pass through his domain, they must pay the price. Fear for Scareglow to feast upon, or to be trapped in Subternia forever. Forever. Forever.
Forever. Forever. Forever. Forever.
So, okay, so with this Scareglow, we do have the Scythe of Doom. The only thing that really, this is glow in the dark here, the head, but I do not believe this is glow in the dark paint, unlike the San Diego Comic-Con and the Scythe of Doom, the blade part that had glow in the dark paint. This does not. However, it's still really good. The cape is nice and cloth. It doesn't have the wiring that the San Diego Comic-Con does, but honestly, all in all though, I think the Scareglow figure is amazing, and it's a great addition. I'm glad they did this, because for those people who did miss out on the San Diego Comic-Con figure, I'm so glad that they did this, because Scareglow is always been a great character, great lore, and just the mystique around him, and just the look of him is amazing. So yes, so thankful that they added this into wave 3 of Revelations. So here we are going to go over, last but not least, Stinkor. One of my favorite characters, just because I had him growing up in the vintage line, and he did stink, But here we are. So we have Stinkor. What's that smell? If it's overpowering enough to overwhelm a steaming pile of garbage, that can only mean one thing: Stinkor. Ever the outcast, the rancid wretch disappeared from Skeletor's side, only to be found hoarding ancient artifacts in his putrid pigpen of a hideout, emitting odors foul enough to bring any hero to their knees. Never underestimate the savage stench of Stinkor. Okay, so we have... Let's take a look at Stinkor. Let's take a closer look. Okay, so like classic Stinkor, he only really comes with the shield. However, he does actually come with tanks. I'm assuming they're O2 tanks. And he actually comes with a head sculpt that has a mask on it. But I'm sorry, if you can't tolerate your own brand of smell, then you need to see a gastroenterologist because you have problems, son.
I love beef stew.
But this figure looks amazing. You can see the claws on his feet, just the paint, the details. Again, one of my favorites just for the fact that I owned him in the vintage style figure when I was growing up. So this has always been a favorite of mine, and I do like this figure quite a bit. I don't really smell, like there's a slight smell, but I don't know if it's just my nose playing tricks on me, but there does seem to be just a slight tint of a smell, but not really much at all. I'm gonna keep like the classic head sculpt. I'm not gonna keep the one with the mask on it, but it's there if you want it. A couple hands, because they do come with alternate hands. But yes, so here we are. This is wave 3. I have all my packages here. But yes, fantastic. Like I said, every wave they get better and better. So this being the third wave, I think this is, again, they hit it out of the park. I think this has been the best wave so far. They just keep getting better. Mattel's doing a great job. Whoever is in charge of these figures is doing an absolutely amazing job. I'm happy to add them to the collection. I love these Revelation figures. I am all in on these. These are really great. As I said, I missed out on classics because I wasn't collecting toys at the time, but this definitely hits that spot for me, and I am happy and can't wait to see what comes up in the future. So that is it for me for tonight. What have you been enjoying collecting? Have you picked up any of these? I highly recommend picking them up if you like MOTU. You don't necessarily have to like Revelations to really like these figures, I gotta tell you. I've been enjoying them, so I hope you have as well. And until the next video, I hope you have a good one, and hope to see you then. See you, bye.